Well, hello everybody. Just wanted to talk about the corn patch in the arroyo and about how much water's in the ground. You know, if you dig down just about, I'm gonna say maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 inches, the sand becomes very damp. And I was just reading that corn roots in optimum conditions, which these would be growing in, this is all sand in here, so they should just be able to cut right through. But they can have 5-foot deep roots. And you can see how healthy they are. They're just very green and very happy. And I think that has to do with how much water flowed down here and the wash's ability to absorb that water. And then just the timing about planting right after that, and the roots chasing that water. All right, here we are. I've just dug a small hole, just kind of right out in the sun, in the open. And just to look and see, it's probably pretty hard to tell, but I mean, that is really wet sand. And it's wet all the way to there. Like, it's only down, I don't know if you can see that, right there is where it starts getting wet. So that's about, gosh, only an inch. So there's so much water in here. When there's water in here, there's water in here, I guess is the way to look at it. If it fills up, you could really grow some corn and beans and squash and sunflowers. Well, here's another look at our dry land project we're calling Corn in the Arroyo. It is corn, beans, sunflowers, and squash. These are the sunflowers here. These guys are getting really big. They are going to be giant sunflowers, so they should have, probably 10-inch heads, maybe a foot in diameter, nice big seeds. The beans are rattlesnakes, or the vining beans. And the bush beans are called dragon tongues, and these are all doing really great. We've got them on a trellis here. It's the temporary thing we put up. And then the corn back there is Oaxacan dent, green dent, and it's doing wonderful. And none of this has had any water except what rain we've gotten. And then we had a big gully washer in the very beginning, and we planted at that time. We planted our seed deep, about 5 inches. Down here in the arroyo, a quick look at the squash. Looks like we've got a couple of these Hubbards set. There's one there, looks like it's about softball size. And another one there that's just about a golf ball. So, the weather schedule's no freeze for the next 10 days, so that's good. But really, we could have freeze just any day now, so we're just into the beginning of September. September 15th is our first frost date. And, that doesn't mean we won't get all the way into October, but we could have a freeze anytime. So fingers crossed, corn is tasseling. Corn has got silks out, so the magic is happening. All right, here we are picking some beans. Let's see, I don't know how much that is. That's probably a pound, huh, Jay? Last time it was 3/4, so we've gotten, let's see, about probably 2 pounds altogether. I keep photographing my finger. That's not anybody, people don't tune in to see my fingertip. All right, bean picking. A lot of beans. Jay says she's got a bunch of them. Not quite ready. Yeah, there's really a lot of rattlesnake beans. And yeah, we do have a gopher coming in on the other side over there. So, we're actually not opposed to rattlesnakes of the reptilian type either. We just don't have to be in the same space at the same time. That's what's important. Interesting. Some of our beans have white flowers, and Jay just said that those are the ones. I wonder what they are. They're probably just not a rattlesnake, huh?
Probably.
Yeah, because there's a bit of them in here for sure. I was noticing that again. I was trying to decide if it was just a difference between the dragon tongues and the rattlesnakes, but I think you're right. It's not.
I guess it'd just be a rattlesnake berry.
Yeah. Man, that corn looks good. Can't believe how many ears it's putting on. I find that really fascinating because they just haven't added any fertilizer down here, and I think it really is just because of all the debris that washes down off of the hills up there. I mean, it's got all the what'd you call it, Jay? The Michael Yazzie, the mycorrhizae connections, you know, and the bacteria, and right, that, you know. Yeah, Yazzie is a common last name here. Yeah, just in the arroyo, you know. I mean, it has its own nutrient feed that happens every couple times a year, every year when it washes all that detritus down. So, yeah, it's just interesting. There's a system that sort of is self-fertilizing here. I don't know, you know, if we planted in the same place next year, how that would be. I mean, that could kind of depend. I mean, it really depends on whether or not we can get in here in between floods, you know. I mean, you don't want to be messing around in here when the water's flowing. Although, you know, our watershed just is all the way up to here, right? So, I mean, if it's not raining there, there's going to be no water coming down here. So it's pretty safe that way. If you're trying to do this in something that has a longer watershed, you're going to want to be pretty careful about being in there. You know, if you hear rumbling, you should get out. Even if it's sun shining. Did you get some more, Jay?